Are we ready to go?
We're ready to go.
Yeah, let's just go. We'll get the people in there. This is the vibe we want.
You're rushing.
I always rush. I'm a guitar player. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Big Shiny Tones. I'm Jay Leonard J.
And I'm Jonathan Lindsay.
Oh, come to you live at beautiful Tapestry Music Store. It's a kind of a crazy day today. We got some people playing some music.
Yeah,
it's been a
wacky.
good time. I like it. Maybe it's because I showed up late. I don't know. I noticed that you're wearing the jean jacket.
I see you got the memo.
I
That's
know,
good.
it looks pretty
We
good.
got to stay coordinated.
Don't be
Got to
mad.
look sharp.
We're pretty handsome
I didn't
boys,
bring
are we?
a cap, though.
Speaking of cat, did you watch the World Series? Are you a big baseball guy?
No,
No,
I'm not.
So
I'm
you
aware.
weren't-
I'm aware of it.
You weren't one of those like millions of people across Canada just staring at the TV and just like hoping against hope.
Nope. I did refresh my phone a couple times on what was it? Saturday was the final.
Yeah, Saturday,
Just to see what the score was, and then
And that was it.
then I
You're
kind of
good.
gave up.
You're good. Oh, no. See, I'm a big
Yeah.
baseball.
You watched it?
You know what the thing is? I'm one of the outliers in Canada because
So you're a Dodgers fan?
Yeah, me and my buddy for years. Ever since when Ohtani,
Oh, you actually are?
Yeah, when Ohtani
Oh, my.
signed like 2 years ago, me and my buddy, it's been kind of our bonding thing.
Okay.
Kind of keep up with things.
Well, isn't he
so-
like the greatest
He's the
player
greatest.
of like
He's amazing.
all time?
It's amazing. It's like watching the greatest. I like seeing the greatest just be great, and he's awesome.
why not?
And it was a great series. It was fantastic. Oh, dude, it was like heart wrenching.
Sounds like
it
it's
was
exciting.
It was amazing. 7 games. Like it was like so many. Like there were some tight games or crazy blowout games. There was like the branches cleared and there's balls getting stuck in the. It was great. It was amazing. It was
Wow.
fantastic. All the candy, all the good stuff. Congratulations to the Dodgers and congratulations to the Blue Jays.
Well, it was quite a showing, that's for sure.
Incredible.
I mean,
It was incredible.
for a Canadian team to make it to the finals, that's amazing.
Great team. Great collection of boys getting it done for our country.
Probably all American guys, anyways. But hey, they're in Canada for the moment.
Hey, they did it. Well, I think they're all on the plane now. They're going to friggin' Hawaii, going to Mexico. They're on vacation right now. So good luck next year. That's going to be awesome. Good stuff.
Indeed. All right. Well, we should cut to important news. None of this sports stuff. Nobody cares about these
This is a
games where you throw
this is a
balls
guitar
around.
show. What are we
Yeah, we want important stuff. And there's something very important in the news that I came across. I think you're going to dig this. There's a new product called the Knobby Fire.
The Knobby
Fire. I think I'm pronouncing it right.
What is going on here?
So, I think it was maybe last time or in the last couple episodes, we were talking about pedals where you've got the really big knob on there.
Yes.
Like one big knob, like that Boeing reverb and stuff. So you can actually adjust
With
the
the
big
foot, the
knob
little
with your
twist.
foot.
Yeah.
Right. If
Little
you're on
dance
stage and you just need a little more, a little less, it's big enough. You can just kind of roll it a bit with your foot. But most knobs on pedals are too small to do that, right?
Yes.
You just can't really do it. So these guys have come up with a pretty interesting solution.
Okay. All
Check this
right.
out.
Whoa, look how big that thing is.
So they got these things that go over top of the knob on your pedal. And it's got this gear. So this gear turns and it's knurled on the top. So you can roll it with your foot back and forth. And
There we
then
go.
that engages the gear underneath it that turns the knob. And presumably you can do it in a relatively precise way.
So you
I'm not sure.
pick the knob you like, you stick it on there.
Looks like
then
you got different
just
colors, and then you got
ride the wave.
like some common brands
Oh,
that
I
use certain
see.
knob sizes. Because obviously there's a lot of different knobs out there. It's not going to fit every single knob. So
It's a little 3D printed thing too, eh? Like I could tell by the artifacts.
Right.
on the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
The little
yeah. It does look
3D
that way.
printed jobby sticks on, and yeah, you just ride the wave. See, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I don't mind that because there's always, especially for like a delay, or a reverb, having like it either on the feedback of a delay or on the dry, the dry knob, the blend.
Yep. Something that you wouldn't be able to adjust on the fly easily.
It would definitely be one of those things that like you would have to play and see how it feels.
Yeah, I'm
The
sure there's a
travel.
learning curve getting used to it. But, also you could probably replace potentially an expression pedal on your board.
Yeah,
Too. Like
exactly.
if you got an expression pedal hooked up that's just controlling, one thing on a delay or a reverb, and you got this on there, you could free up some space on your board too and put another pedal on there.
Yeah, like surfing surfing the tone. You know, you're just riding the wave, moving the foot backward. Of course, you don't.
I don't
really
know if it would look quite that cool, but
you don't know if you're on 0 or 10 though. So you kind of, it has to be a knob where I guess you start off, you roll everything back, and then you just kind of ease it in.
Yeah, I guess practice
Use your
makes
ears.
perfect. I'm sure.
Would you put that? What's the? Do you have a pedal on your pedal board? What would be the first pedal you put that on?
Oh, I don't know. To be honest, for myself, I don't know if I would really use this too much because there's not a whole lot of things I tend to adjust on the fly. But if I was to pick one thing, I would probably put it on like the mix level on my delay pedal.
Yeah, mix. That was thinking too.
That way I could just like control the mix going up or down. Sometimes I do like at the very end of a song to like, I'll bend down to the delay and just like send the, feedback or something so that it does a big, like, and then you cut it all off.
See, that's what.
So something like that could be useful.
So I guess it really comes down to, do you think it's aesthetically cool when a guitar player kneels down to the board to manipulate the knobs? Is that like a lame look, right?
I think
or
it's
is it
kinda
part
lame.
of the show? Is it like, kind of like, oh man, what's he doing on the ground? Why does everything start sounding gross? Why is everything horrible sounding all of a sudden? Or is it like, you just move it with the foot and it's all kind of, there's certain songs like just about, like there's certain songs where you can just kind of fade it in, but I don't know. I will say every time I'm at a show and I see the guitar player kind of kneel down and start doing this, I'm always just like, I don't know. That's not like,
I think it was somewhere in the early mid 2000s. I saw John Schofield in Toronto, and I think he was playing with Medeski, Martin and Wood. And it was about that time when he started playing with loopers a lot and was getting really into, like, I don't know if it was a DL4 or something that was a looper and backwards stuff like that. And I swear, like, a majority of the show, he was like bent over playing with his looper. I was like, just play guitar. Come on.
You got a new toy. Let him play with it.
I love John Schofield, and I've seen him many times. But that one particular show, I just came away from going, man, he mostly just played with his looper. What's going on?
He's really excited about his new looper. It's like Abbey Road, the Beatles album. And like it's all this tom work. Because supposedly, I don't know if this is true, but like Ringo got like new reskinned his toms, so he's just playing with it's cool. You're always trying to find an excuse to hit the toms, find an excuse to kneel down.
They're
turn
like,
the knob.
oh, that's enough, Ringo.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it does look. It depends because if there is a mad scientist element. I see people that usually put like their weird tweaky pedals like on a little table, and then that looks cooler.
Yeah,
then you look like a DJ.
then it's like. Definitely very purpose built. It's like, you're going to be doing some serious knob tweaking if it's up on a table.
Yeah. I'd put it on a reverb pedal because, we were talking about where you put reverb in the front or in the effects loop just the other day.
Yeah, definitely in the effects loop.
Right, you got to put it in the front. So I put it in the front.
Well, I don't know.
But when you do
we should do a show on that.
We should do a show on that.
In fact, we did do a show on that.
Goodness.
And we'll put a link to it.
Wow. We did it, guys. That's really helpful. But yes, as you push the amp, that reverb can get a little much, just a little bit much.
Oh, sure.
So I do like that where it's like, you're turning up, you can just kind of give it a little nip tuck with the foot. That's pretty cool.
Nip tuck.
So I guess the really cool question is, with a pedal or a little thing like this, it comes to the feel. Is it a satisfying feel? And also, is there enough resistance?
Yeah,
because
if
it's like, then it's like,
yeah, that wouldn't work. You need a certain amount of resistance.
Has to
and
be
do you
real.
feel the clicks? I don't know. That would be something too that might be annoying if you feel the clicks.
Oh, I like that.
Can you adjust the tension? That'll be on like the next model or something. So I don't know. It's a neat thing. I think it's kind of cool.
I like it. We need more random gimmicky cool things like this. I would sooner buy one of those than one of those foot pedal things that like make the foot switch bigger. Have you seen those things?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, there you go. You got the Expand by Dunlop. Okay, so like if I was gonna have something large and I guess this is for like the barefoot. Like
that
person.
was. I think Barefoot was the first kind of brand to do that. And
but if I was gonna put something large and ostentatious on my guitar pedal, I think I'd probably get one of those. Or we could maybe like rig this up to be one of those things. I don't know. All right, very cool, very cool.
Nifty.
The Knobby Fire. I'm gonna try one. Why not?
Yeah, it's neat. We'll see if the guitar public embraces it. I don't know.
I love these little like gimmicky kind of guitar things, because sometimes they just kind of come in and out of our life. And you're like, oh, where did they still make those anymore? I hope this is around for a long time. Knobby Fire.
The Knobby Fire. Check it out. All right. Let's see. Now, seems like you did like some kind of a trip down to Portland and came back with some pedals, because you got some new stuff.
We got some pedals. We got some pedals being released. I think they're just released. Today it's Thursday, right? So I think one was released on Wednesday, one's released today.
Perfect. We shouldn't get in trouble then.
2 pedals. I hope. Just watch. You have to reshoot this whole thing. Yeah. We got 2 pedals from Portland, Oregon. We got this one over here.
What do you got first?
Mr. Black.
Ooh, Mr. Black. Cool.
Analog tremolo. So there you go. Look at that.
Oh.
Fancy pedal. Analog tremolo. I think there's different waveforms.
I dig the colors. That's cool. It's like purple and turquoise and green and white.
It has like 4 different modes. It has like this like triangle, square, sign, and then a robot. And a robot
mode?
It's like a, you know what it is? It's more of like a glitchy effect. It doesn't even sound like a tremolo. I think that's what it is. It's like the rate knob all the way up. So, and then the modulation.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
Playing with your sound gives it like this really chirpy quality and everything like that.
Okay.
You know, tremolos, it's actually like, do you have a tremolo on your board?
Not on my board. I do have a tremolo. I've got one of the Empress ones,
I don't know,
which is a pretty good one. It's like the big orange Empress tremolo. It was
does it have different?
It's called the Tremolo 2, I think. Yeah,
there it is.
There you go, Tremolo 2.
Whoa! So you went all in on tremolo then? That is a oh man!
It's pretty, as far as tremolos go. It's
the
pretty cool.
Double size enclosure.
I rarely use it though. It's kind of like if I'm in the mood to do some like surfy stuff, then I'll throw that on the board.
Do you do a lot of tap tempo tremolo stuff?
No,
I very rarely use a tap tempo.
I generally, for me, if I put the tremolo on, I want it to be like really in your face, like square wave,
square
choppy,
wave,
kind of chuck kind of thing. That's cool. Although, to be fair, it does sound pretty cool if you just turn on like a sine wave tremolo and play some chords. And
do you like the sine wave or the triangle?
I think the sine wave. I'm familiar with the sine wave. I'm actually not really familiar with the triangle wave. Although it's got it right on there, and the triangle tube and square.
And the square, right?
So I don't know.
So I believe like if you go for like a bias tremolo, that would be closer to a sine wave. So
that's like your Fender amp tremolo, right?
Well, like kind of not all Fender amps. Like if you're thinking Blackface amp, that's opto. That's in like and they use like a light cell, and that's gonna make it a little bit more triangle-y. So actually, if you're thinking Fender-y, Blackface,
maybe I've got it all wrong.
Triangle, and then if you're thinking like the early tremolos, like the AC30 kind of tremolo, that's a bias tremolo kind of.
Okay,
rides
I'm definitely less experienced with that one.
It's very smooth, very nice. I like the triangle for like the smooth, subtle. Romantic ones, and then triangle when I want to get really like 60s and psychedelic and stuff like that. I love tremolos. There was a time.
Do you have a tremolo on your board?
No, I usually have tremolos in my amps. But if I did have a tremolo on, if I didn't have one on the amp, I would have a pedal. And I have like a bunch of tiny ones, and I have big ones and stuff. I kind of just enough, find the right size for the board I'm making. But it's one of those like a wah. I always have to have on my board. Yeah. And I always need to have tremolo handy at all times. I don't know why. I just think there's just the coolest effect. I used to have a rule, like all amps I bought had to have either a tremolo and a reverb on it. And that has since kind of gone away. But
a lot of your amps don't have reverb, right?
Not anymore. Like it used to be like it had to have reverb and it had to have tremolo. Right? But I guess.
And a lot of amps do.
A lot of amps do. Then I find that it's mainly like Fender-y kind of amps.
Yeah, so that's usually what I associate it with for sure. Or Magnetone too. Magnetone's
I like
beautiful, more like the harmonic.
Yeah, that's
I think of with them.
Yeah, that's actual like true vibrato-y kind of thing. It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Or I guess it's like kind of phasey.
Yeah, it's got some of that pitch modulation. It's just really gooey and gorgeous.
Like fancy univibey kind of wonderful modulation.
Fancy vibe.
And then the other pedal we have, actually, this is one that might be very interesting for you cats out there. It's a pedal that's been around for like a long, long time. It's one of the classics. And it's from Catlin Bread. Let's see what's over here. This is
Portland Pedal Company number 2.
Ooh, Portland Pedal Company number 2 is the Bell Epoch Plus.
Oh, wow.
So they finally they come up with another version.
That's interesting because this has been like just like a stable or a stable. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like it's been in their line for a long time, and it's been one of their classic pedals.
It's one of their it is like it was the first
Belle Epoque Plus.
I know, right? It was I remember when it was first released, everyone was all crazy about it because it had the tape delay sound. It was like really
that,
natural,
like that Echoplex EP3 kind of thing, right?
I feel like it was one of the first. There was like a big wave of those like different pedals. Like I know that Empress and Empress have a tape delay that they released, and everyone, Strymon had the tape delay, and I think that this is
MXR had I think they own the copyright to Echoplex, so they put one out too, which is also pretty good.
And this was I remember this was like a really, because the price was just right, and it had the preamp in it, and like the Echoplex preamp, which is like this little thing that changes your sound just subtly, your clean tone, but it actually kind of changes it in a very pleasing way. It's like
really warm and fat, right?
Yes.
Like the EP booster from Exotic is a famous example of that one.
Yeah, the classic. Yeah. And of course, there is the Echoplex preamp and the Epoch Boost by Catlin Bread.
Yeah, because I remember they did they did two like big versions of this, right? They did like there was the just the preamp. It was like the Epoch preamp. And then they did like was it called the Deluxe?
Yeah, there's the Bell Epoch Deluxe, which has more delay,
more stuff on it,
algorithms in it. I think there's different sounds. And then they had the Bell Epoch, which had I think it was a slightly simplified version of the preamp.
Because the small one was around first.
Yes, this was first.
They did the big ones a number of years later.
Yeah. And I think this one just has some. There's like tape age.
I see a little switch that the old one doesn't have.
Thing. I think there's and they just beefed up stuff. So I think the preamp in the bigger one, I think they're probably getting a couple, because that was a kind of an upgraded one, more fidelity and stuff like that. And I think they kind of beefed this preamp as well in here, and then gave it more headroom and kind of changed. And I think the big one is the tap tempo. So now
tap tempo.
You got to hold the tap, and then you got to tap tempo, which is pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I feel like I could be wrong, but there's not a lot of like tape style delays with tap tempo, is there?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, that one has the tape
Never mind.
delay.
Clearly, I'm wrong. That one's got it right on there.
Yeah, I know that people have been asking for the Catlin Bread ones.
I think the MXR one, you can get a little extra foot switch to do a tap on it.
I think there used to be and I know that with the Deluxe Epoch, there was so much of a demand for tap tempo that Catlin Bread made an extra external tap tempo thing that like could make it so you can make it work that way through the expression out.
Okay.
So yeah, it's nice. It's I wonder if it's going to be the same price. I think it's probably going to be, right? I think this is definitely going to be replacing it, I think. Right?
I mean, it must be. It's same form factor, looks the same. I mean, it's a nice size too. That's one thing with like the Deluxe version, it's a lot bigger, and like that Empress one too. It's a big footprint, whereas this is a nice size. You can throw that onto pretty much any board.
Yeah, it's a really cool.
As soon as they get to like the double size, it's like
like you're making a commitment.
It means now if your board is already full, you're not swapping out one pedal. Now you're swapping out two pedals.
Yes.
So that's a much harder decision. You have to really want that double size pedal on there.
Well, and there's also a compromise you're gonna have to make too, because you don't have that separate tap, so you have to hold, wait, and then you do your tap. So it's not going to be like something like the Empress, which is just immediately you have easy access to the tap. So it's one of those decisions you have to make. Do I want to get a bigger pedal, and because that tap is so important to me, or I occasionally use the tap, I might need it here and there, or just to reset a time. Then you get something small like this. Pretty cool. I think a lot of people have been waiting for this pedal to come out. It's a little nice little upgrade, different fidelities and stuff like that. Pretty fancy stuff.
I always liked the sound of the original Belle Epoque. So
great pedal.
Love to try this one, see how that one sounds.
Oh, there you go. Plug it in, turn it up loud.
Plug it in. Alrighty, cool.
Well, that's it for. I think that's all that's coming out of Oregon this week. I think so.
Next week, California. Here we come.
Ooh, let's go to California. I think we are going to California for NAMM.
NAMM show, January. I don't know if I'm going. We'll see. We'll see. As a Canadian, I don't know. We'll see.
Don't worry about it.
We'll see.
It'll be fine. You got Nexus. You just gotta.
I do not have Nexus. No.
I don't know.
All right, moving on from pedals. Hey, so did you hear about this? So from the band Fish.
Yeah.
Trey Anastasio.
Okay.
Anastasio.
Anastasio.
I don't know how to pronounce
Anastasia.
Anastasia.
Trey Savage.
Fantas.
Okay. Trey Anastasio. Stasio. Yeah. So what did Trey Anastasio do?
I think he's got a new album coming out. I don't think it's a Fish record. I think it's a solo record. Mm-hmm. But there was a recent interview. He was on Corey Wong's podcast.
Okay.
Wong Notes, which is a very cool show. And he was talking about his new record. And so he was saying he feels that he's trying not to write stuff on guitar anymore. And the reason being, he's like, all the guitar music sounds kind of the same. We're all writing on guitar. We're in this weird little box. He particularly thinks that G string on the guitar, if you're in standard tuning, that G string kind of throws a little loop that forces you or kind of confines you into the same old patterns and stuff like that. So he's trying not to write any of his music on guitar, write it on piano. So traditional old piano writing, and then, however, I guess arrange it for, a rock trio or whatever it is he's doing on there. But that's sort of his thing. Now, I haven't heard this music.
Yeah, how much like his guitar music is this piano? Bets.
So
like
I don't
when
know.
you listen to this music,
is it still going to sound like guitar music?
He's taking this so out of the box that he wrote this on the piano, or is it going to be like, yeah, this kind of just sounds like a Trey Anastasio album?
And then I also have to think too, like if I'm going to listen to, like, say, a guitar record, and if it doesn't sound like what I kind of associate guitar records are going to be, am I going to like it too? Or is it going to be like this whole new thing? We're like, oh, this is interesting. This is some sort of modern classical music, but on electric guitar.
So he's saying that he feels confined by his instrument. So
yeah, in some ways, or at least
to find other
to sound unique, or at least step out from the crowd. He needs to write it on something else. I don't know.
Well,
do you listen to much like guitar music?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, of course I do.
I mean, as guitar players, most of us do.
So, like, come on, like it's so hard to, there's like flamenco music is written on the exact same, instrument that classical music is on, which is written on the exact same instrument that blues is written, and jazz and country and funk.
Those all sound pretty different,
and they all sound like they're from a completely different place. That G string doesn't seem to bother anybody. If anything, the G string opens up more avenues of creation. But I get what he's saying. I think what he's really trying to say is, I've been writing so many frickin' tunes for the last 20 plus years that I just need to mix it up somehow because I've exhausted all my ideas. Like, this guy's literally been writing music since he was in his teens, and probably, now he's a how old is he right now? How old is Trey Anastasio? Like 200 years old. He's 61 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say 60s.
So that's 40 plus years of writing guitar music. And
you have to kind of run out of ideas eventually.
And he doesn't have he doesn't as a guitar player. He has his kind of, what he listened to growing up. And he's never bothered to take it outside of that realm of influences he's kind of had. Like, there's some, I'm not hearing him going deep into, the recesses of gypsy jazz or anything like that. Well, maybe he does dabble here and there, but there's a point where, you kind of have to try new things. Andre 3000, exhausted rap. And now he's doing flute music.
It's quite a beautiful record too.
It's nice.
If you check it out, it's nice.
Chilling. Yeah. You can do your daily affirmations and your yoga poses to it. It's really nice.
I mean, to me, Trey has always been one of those musicians who's kind of going against the grain musically. Like his whole thing with, at least with Fish, is it's sort of like it's jam band stuff. It's sort of coming from that Grateful Dead train of thought, but it's not radio rock, it's not like stuff that's going to be like short little poppy hits. It's mostly, they're doing like very long songs and probably stuff that people that are not necessarily musicians might get a little bored by. And even, I mean, myself, I've tried getting into Fish a ton of times, and every time I do, I just kind of like, it's
not for you, eh?
I don't know.
I had my roommate in college.
There's like bits of it that I'm like really into, but I can't like get super into it somehow.
My roommate in college was obsessed. Well, he wasn't obsessed, but he listened to a lot of Fish.
I mean, they had like the obsessive fans.
Yeah, and they would
like the Grateful Dead, like the Deadheads. There's like the Fish fans that follow them around and stuff.
And they
so there's something to it.
They made so many albums. It's crazy. So like, I think that's really what he's trying to say. What he's trying to say is he's trying to blame the instrument, but it's really he's done writing guitar music. Like everyone.
Harsh.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, and that's not bad. I think that's actually a good thing. You know, like that's expanding, that's pushing yourself. You know, if you're not, something's not inspiring you, then you kind of you mix it up. That's why we get guitar pedals and we try different things. We try
Gives
different
you new
guitars.
inspiration.
It takes our brain to a different, you know, a different plane, and now we can start pulling other things within ourselves out. So if the guitar's not speaking to him anymore, piano, because like a lot of piano music is, you know, I don't know. It's all a lot of it comes down to what's your vocabulary on the instrument, how deep can you go? Because I actually believe, maybe it's because I'm biased because I'm a guitar player, but like you never stop learning. And I feel like the moment you stop being curious about something is the moment you're not progressing anymore and you've hit the wall. And that's not a limitation of I don't think that's a limitation of the guitar. I think that's a limitation of how far you want to take that journey. And he's obviously taken the journey as far as he can take it. And he's not, you know, he doesn't want to go any deeper down that rabbit hole. Okay, fine. Go to the other thing. But it's not the guitar's fault. It's not. The guitar is always going to give. And you're always something to learn. Right? Who's ever?
I think there's something too, like particularly with songwriting, like there's magic in discovering things you don't know about, and I feel like when you become like advanced on a particular instrument and you know a lot about it, some of that like mystery and magic kind of goes away. Mm-hmm. So you'll play something and be like, "Oh, this is cool. Oh yeah, it's cool because it's this and does that," and I know, you know, mathematically why that's cool. Whereas if you pick up an instrument that you're not familiar with and you don't know how it works and you don't necessarily know how it's all connected and you're discovering stuff, you're like, oh, this is cool. And it's cool because I don't know what it is and I don't know why it's happening.
See, I think that works, right? With
and that happens to me like when I pick up, if I go, say, to like a keyboard or something, especially with like synth sounds and stuff like that, because I'm not a very good keyboard player. And I'll like go and I'll dial up a sound and I'll like hit a couple of keys and I'll go, oh, this sounds cool. This is really cool. And I'll, you know, play a couple more. I'm like, oh, this is neat. Like this could be a really cool song. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but like this sounds really cool. Whereas if I did that on guitar, I'd be like, oh, well, it's just like it's a, you know, it's a 2-chord into a 5-chord, but it's a sus, and you know, I'm like, whatever. It's mathematically, it's not magic. But when you don't know what's happening, like when you think back when you're young and you're learning the guitar and you'd play like a chord for the first time, you're like, oh, that's so cool. I could write so many songs with this chord, and then, you know, after you played that chord for 30 years, you're like, oh, great, it's just a C chord, whatever.
I think that's 100% what it is. 100%. Like, because you talk to a piano player, and a piano player is, you know, one that's, you know, been writing piano music for 40 years, and they're like, oh man, the piano, it's like, you know, there's different blocks that you do with your fingers, and it all laid out like that. They're saying the same thing. Oh, you got to play guitar. That's really interesting because you have this, you know, a G on a guitar is never at the same spot. You know, there's so many different ways you could approach it. Whereas a piano, a G is always going to be here. So it comes down to just, you know, what's challenging you and what's inspiring you, right? But
yeah, it'd probably do us all good to pick up a new instrument we're unfamiliar with and start messing around with it, you know?
I've been trying to learn the flute.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of been my thing. Yeah. My kid got into the flute, so now he got one, I got one.
Okay.
And so I'm now doing the flute, and man, you know, it's opening up new avenues. You know, the guitar, so
you're gonna put out a
it's
flute
holding me
album.
back. The guitar with that unwound G string. I got to do what Mitch does. 12s with a wound G.
You need a wound G.
The world would open up to me. Ali's complaining about wound. Okay, get a wound G then, buddy. Come on, what are we doing here?
Come on over to the dark side.
Come on over to the
You need to
dark
hook that flute up to your pedalboard. That's what you need to do.
I'm ready.
That'd be
Call
wild.
Andre.
That'd be awesome.
We're gonna go. We're
Jam
going.
session.
Wow.
All right,
Fish.
cool. Let's move on from the news and let's head on into unpopular opinion land.
All right, unpopular opinion. Here we go.
We started talking about this, I think, last time, and it bears a better, a longer discussion. So we're talking about cables.
Yes.
And I think we're both of the opinion, at least at the moment, because we tend to change that, but that
Today.
more expensive cables are worse than cheaper cables.
What a take.
Ooh.
What a take.
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Are cheap cables better than fancy cables?
It's okay. So, now.
Guitar cables we're talking about?
We're talking about what are you spending money on the expensive cable?
Should you buy a $100 guitar cable or should you buy a
like a
$20 one? Or
like the ones that you get like at the source? You know, the ones that you like. There's a place we have in Vancouver called Lee's Electronics. It's like this little, bunch of. Okay, this is now we're gonna my take here. So I'm gonna say that you like the cheap cables. Is that what you?
Well, I don't like the cheap cables, but I also don't like the expensive cables
don't like the
necessarily. I like particular cables. I did a deep dive on cables a long time ago. Like
This is what we do. This is the things we do. We go deep diving on strings and cables and picks. What did you get out of your? What would you get out of your deep dive?
So this was, I want to say, probably at least 15 years ago. So this was like back in the days, boutique pedals were the craze, and everybody wanted boutique pedals. Everybody wanted true bypass pedals.
Oh, God bless them. Yeah.
And so you got your boutique pedal board with your true bypass pedals. And next thing was, well, now you got to get rid of those cheap cables because they have too much capacitance. So remember, capacitance became this evil word. You got too much capacitance. So all these brands started making these ultra low capacitance cables for like super high prices, $100 cables and stuff like that. And I remember even like, for a while, like Monster Cable started doing guitar cables. I don't know if they still do. They might, but they actually had like an electric guitar cable. You could buy you like silver, gold, and platinum or whatever.
So then we have direction. Remember, like the guitar end and the end.
Yeah, directional. And this is the acoustic guitar cable, and this is the electric guitar cable, and this is the bass one, stuff like that. And
stuff to spend your money on, eh?
Yes. So I started like trying all these out because obviously, of course, I want the best cable I can get, right? Who doesn't?
Wait, so what is the difference for the viewers out there between a high capacitance cable and a low capacitance cable? Like, what is capacitance? What does it do to our sound?
So basically, I'm not a guitar scientist here in any way, but as the sound travels down that cable, basically you have capacitance along the way. And as the sound travels, you're going to lose primarily the top end of the sound, I think is what gets lost. So if you have a 5-foot cable, you've got very little. If you have a 10-foot cable, you'll have a little bit of capacitance. And the longer that cable, the more top end you're going to lose along the way. And then depending on what that cable's made out of, you're going to have particularly, darker or brighter cables.
Exactly, yeah.
And what sort of spawned this was the coily cable, right? Because the coily cables are kind of known as being some of the darkest cables out there. One reason is because it's coiled up. It's actually like a 30 or 40 or 50 foot cable, even though it's only like, a handful of feet long, it looks like. So you're losing a lot of capacitance, or you're losing a lot of high end along there because there's a lot of capacitance. And some guitar players traditionally liked those sounds because it knocks off some of that top end, but all these boutique cables were coming out and they're like ultra low capacitance, so it wouldn't lose any of that high end. They're hi-fi,
you could have longer
high fidelity
cables without losing.
Yeah,
see,
so
unlike a mic cable. You see a microphone cable. The reason why microphone cables, you could have it in the studio and they could be 100 feet long. You're not getting sound. It's a balanced cable. So there's actually 3 different spots. There's a ground and then there's 2 signals, and they work with each other to make sure that you don't get sound. Your sound doesn't break down. With a guitar cable, it's unbalanced. So yeah, there's only one feed. So yeah, the longer it gets, the more rounded off it gets, and the less, I guess, nice it sounds.
Yeah, but this is a tone too, so it's a subjective thing. And what I found as I started trying all these cables and doing endless ABs of this one and that one and that one, all these different brands, was yes, a lot of these more expensive cables had a lot less capacitance and had a lot more top end in there, but to what end?
Yes.
And I found, at least for me personally, with a lot of these hi-fi cables, it was too hi-fi. It's like, this doesn't sound like electric guitar to me anymore. I mean, maybe some people would really dig it, but
kind of sour in the back of your teeth.
It's just like there's too much of that bright top end. Like, I don't know if you've ever plugged your electric guitar straight into like a PA or into like a keyboard amp or something like that, or just direct into like a stereo system or something.
Yep.
It's this nasty, like there's so much top end that it's not comfy. It
that
doesn't
fizz and that grit and that high end sibilance and all of that stuff, which amps and stuff usually mellow out, and a cable will mellow out. But So that is so. You would say that in your ears, then you would say that a guitar cable that has a little bit more, a little bit more resistance, a little bit more length would be more pleasing.
To my ears, anyways, much more pleasing. So I was trying to find sort of the Goldilocks cable, because if you get, say, like a vintage coily cable, or if you get like really cheap cables, they tend to be quite dark, and so you get a little bit of this muffled kind of guitar tone, and that was too dark for me. And then, of course, the more cables you have, that's gonna multiply there. So I think part of that reason that a lot of these were getting popular was with everybody getting these big pedal boards now.
No true bypass.
And it's, with all the true bypass pedals, I think, without the buffers, people are kind of losing.
See, the buffer in a guitar pedal, like you have a true bypass pedal, means you put your signal in and the signal comes out. So if you're the longer the cable is, the more high end you lose. So if there's no buffer, the sound's going to get warmer and warmer, get through your pedal, get through it, gets warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer. Think of a buffered pedal as kind of like a vitamin shot. So like you get like your Boss pedal. A lot of Boss pedals have a buffer. I think almost all of them.
I think most of them, yeah.
When the cable gets in there, it gives it that boosted vitamin shot. You get some more highs and you get everything, and then it restarts the chain. So what I think people do now is they'll at least have one or two buffers in their pedal board now.
If you've got a bunch of true bypass pedals.
And a long signal chain.
For a while there, nobody wanted buffers at all. It was like this dirty word. It's like, oh, get that
Gotta
buffered
keep it clean.
pedal. Yeah.
Gotta keep it clean.
So people kind of went a little too far, and you had like too many of these little cables, too many true bypass pedals. By the time you got to your amp, there was no sort of high end left.
Not only that, you'd get that like the wake up, like the espresso boost. Like what would happen was you would have no buffering. So by the time it gets here, and say you have 15 feet before the pedal board, you have like 15 feet after, right? That's 30 feet of accumulate. Once you turn on your pedal when it's on is gonna buffer your signal, and all of a sudden your tone goes from like really warm and kind of flat and mellow to like whoa, espresso boost.
Yeah.
And it's clean and bright and you're like whoa. That's why when you have a buffer in your pedal board chain, you'll actually notice that some of your pedals just sound different.
Yeah, they'll definitely sound better, or not better, but the different, maybe better, maybe worse. That's a subjective thing, and that's the same with the cables too. I think you need to find whatever works for you. As I tried all these cables, I actually bought this super expensive speaker cable. I spent like well over $100 on this speaker cable to go from my amp head. Got this new amp I was excited about into the cab, and I got rid of the cheap cable that I had. Plugged this one in, and I was like, oh, this is awful. It was so nasty.
You don't do the vintage style, which is you get an old lamp and you cut the power adapter from the lamp and you just turn that into a cable.
You might as well. I mean, I pulled that one out and I got like just a regular old, I think it was like a Rapco basic one, plugged it in and tried it, and I was like, oh, thank God. It sounds so much better now. So it's sort of, I don't know, horses for courses. Like if you've just got your guitar going to an amp, and if you use a really hi-fi cable, you might not really dig the results that come from that. But if you've got, 20 true bypass pedals in a row, and if you put hi-fi little cables in between each one, that might help you out at the end of the day.
I think those super clear, super bright cables are great when you're having lots of cable. Like if you're just making a 15-foot cable or a 10-foot cable, it's too much. If you're making you're going Albert Collins and you need like a 100-foot line, and for some reason you don't want to go wireless.
You can walk down the stairs and across the street.
Super long chains. Then I could understand, because then you just lower the inevitable, right? You're gonna get loading no matter what. So it like when you have a super long, that might be a good time to whip out like the super expensive cable. When it comes to expensive cables, for me, this is where I like to spend my money. On the jacks.
Yes.
That's where you want to spend. New Trick makes incredible. I love those. They're so Amphenol makes really, really good ones. The jack,
Switchcraft is kind of a industry standard for a long time.
Standard. I think when it comes, I like Switchcraft on the pedal boards, but on the actual cables, there's a little bit more like just something to grip on. I like the right angled, jacks too, right? So having the New Trick or Amphenol, a high end, really nice one. That's what you want to spend. Or sorry, a plug. Is that what they call it? A jack is the hole. A plug is the. Is that what it is? I get confused. What's what? There is a plug. There it is. Delicioso.
Well, we just learned something today. They're plugs.
So those, Switchcraft ones. Those are, I've had so many cheap, offshore ones that like the plastic or the fiberboard is broken, that they get loose, they get wiggly on the ends. The things, don't spend your money on a really good jack, especially if you're or a plug. Spend your money on a very good plug. If you're going on the road and doing your stuff, that's right. And then also, I think a lot of what I like to spend money is just how strong how durable the actual cable is. Good jacket. Is it microphonic? Is it
Ooh, that'd be bad.
That weird sound you get. So there's I like what I like to use Conair. Good old Conair wire.
That's a nice cable, yeah. Along my cable deep diving, that was one of the more pleasant sounding ones that I came across.
That definitely has a noticeable roll off. Mogami has a roll off. Mogami's cool, but I think Conair's a little bit more flexible. You can move it around and it's a little bit more durable.
Yeah, it's a nice thickness. It's not too thick, but it still feels
And you don't want it
durable.
so thick that it's stiff. I've had some really expensive cables and it's stiff, and then
those solid core
it's
ones.
heavy and it doesn't lay down on the ground. Some people put Tech Flex on their cables, which I don't like. Because
Tech
I always
Flex?
Have you ever heard of Tech
What's
Flex?
that?
Look it up. Tech
What's
Flex
Tech Flex?
cable. So it's like this. It's something to protect your cable. There you go. See, it's like this wrap.
That stuff. Yeah.
Look at that on the top. The Divine Noise on. You see a lot of those. Yeah, there you go. A lot of high-end companies will put the Tech Flex on their cables, and it just adds an extra layer of protection. I don't really dig those because
It kind of looks cool, but
they look awesome.
It feels weird, right? Like
I slip on them. If you step on it, you're gonna go
really?
ass over tea kettle. It just rolls off your foot. Whereas a really good cable like a Conair, there's a little bit of a grip to it.
Yeah,
So
it's got a little bit of a soft, rubbery, not quite rubber, but it's just like a soft touch.
And so
to
when
it.
you step
like
on
a Delrin pick or something.
Yes, like a Delrin pick. So that's what I would go for. But I agree. I think the ultra high, high end. Spend your money on the plugs. Spend your
Plugs
money
and the jacks.
Yeah.
Something that a lot of people don't realize too is there's different tolerances between different brands of plugs and jacks too. So something I learned a long time ago is, for example, say you've got let's say an American-made Fender that has a Switchcraft jack on it. If you use a Switchcraft plug, it's kind of the
perfect
fit
connection
in there. Whereas if you use, say, like a Neutrik plug going into a Switchcraft jack, it's a slightly different size, and you'll find that there's a tiny bit of play.
Wow, I never
just a little bit of it there. And of course, as the jacks get older, that makes those looseness gets worse and stuff like that, right? But there's some, there is differences. Like not all plugs are the same diameter. So if you have a guitar that has a particularly maybe tight or loose jack, and you've got a plug that goes in that doesn't feel quite right, you might want to try a different brand because there could be just a tolerance issue there too. It's worth having a good fit.
I didn't think about that. That's
yeah,
really
it's
cool.
I mean, it's a small little thing, but it's just enough, because once you've got that jack in there, if it moves just a tiny bit, you get that
little crunch, the little Captain Crunch.
Nobody wants to hear that on stage,
Yeah. So when you're buying your high-end cable, we're not saying that they're bad. Actually, they have a lot of benefits. Just know what you're looking for in your sound. For me, we all prioritize different things. I like dependability. I want a cable that's tough, but also a cable that is flexible and easy to move around, that will last a long time for playing live. And then when you're in the studio, maybe if you're going to have a long cable in the studio, then you get the ultra high end ones that, maintain your high signal, or maybe ones that have, maybe a more robust, you don't need as robust of a build, but maybe spend some money on some other things. So
sure. I think at the end of the day, you just got to use your ears.
Use the ears.
Use your ears. And find the cable that you like the tone of with your particular rig and your guitar, because it's all going to be different.
Just like that, we spent 20 minutes talking about guitar cables.
Cables. How's about that? Amazing.
Now, if you have a really cool topic you want us to hit on, or maybe an unpopular opinion, please write it down in the comment section below. We need more ideas. We need stuff to talk about, and we like to hear stuff. We know what we like and what we don't like. We want to hear what you like, what you don't like, and we can give you our little take on that too. And I think that's kind of the fun of it all.
Let us know what you think about cables in the comments there too. Do you like the really hi-fi ones? Is that your jam? Do you like the really dark old school ones? Do you not care? Are you just like, give me the cheapest cable, I don't care, as long as it's not broken?
I have a giant shelf of just cables, and for some reason I use the same like 3 for everything. So there you go. All right. So now that brings us to Rig on Trial.
It does.
We're on Rig
It
on
does.
Trial. Oh my
Rigs
goodness.
on trial.
Uh-oh.
Holy smokes.
Okay, so this is a very special episode because we got Mitch behind the camera.
I don't think you're ready for this.
Oh wow.
We keep trying to get him to come out from behind the camera. He's in this cave back there
Hiding.
in the dark. It's pitch black. I don't even know what he looks like.
We that's where
Have
we
you ever
keep
met
all the
him before?
cases. We just keep all the cases back there.
Kind of
Yeah,
this
yeah.
voice that comes down
You
from
open the
above.
case and let me out.
So Mitch,
Okay.
what
There
did
is
you
one.
look? He's gonna tell us. He's gonna do some storytelling. Oh, look at that! Look at that! What are those guitars, Mitch?
Well, the one on the right is obviously PRS, hollow body, just an
PRS
SC.
Hollow, yeah.
And
What's the one on the other side?
That's a road core, Ibanez road core.
Ibanez Road Core.
Yeah.
It's where you get that little butterfly guy. Who's that little guy?
It's
on
a
the,
little sticker, you know, a little
Little
ode
stickster.
to my better half.
I like.
You know?
I like the you
She's a
get
butterfly.
you get like this PRS guitar, you know, very pricey. Not a cheap guitar by any stretch. He goes on big old
Yeah,
sticker on it. I
mid-range.
like
Put a
that.
butterfly on it.
Yeah,
I like that.
mid-range.
A Deftone sticker. That's what you get. Like a Deftone sticker.
It's a songwriter's gear.
That's a beautiful. That was actually the hollow body PRS was the first PRS I've ever seen in real life at like the Vancouver.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Before I even saw like a custom 24, it was that
Hollow
And-
body, huh.
And so in my head, growing up, I always associated PRS with their semi-hollow body guitar. Isn't that funny? And look at this pedal board here. What do we got?
All
here?
right.
Okay.
What do we got here? Let's see. Oh, full screen. Awesome.
Okay. Oh, horse meat. That's PRS. That's actually a really cool.
Oh,
one.
so we got a PRS fanboy.
You know that the horse meat was supposed to be like their take on the Klon.
Klon, right?
And I'll be honest with you, it sounds nothing like the Klon. It's a completely different pedal. I even made a video where I compared the two. It's like, I maybe there was like some like there's an idea of what they wanted it to sound like, and it was Klon-esque, and then they just kind of found their way to it on their own terms. But it's more, I think it's more overdrivey. Like a Klon, I think it was like a boost.
More
on
like a
one-
boost, yeah.
And then on the other side, it's more like this really nasal, mid-rangey kind of drive. Horse meat's more, I think of it more as a traditional sounding overdrive. Really, really nice sounding.
Yeah, it's a very nice sounding pedal, but not
Yeah.
not
I,
the Klon. It's
I had a
supposed to be.
few others at a J-Rocket, but I didn't like the nose.
Oh, yeah.
Nasally.
Yeah, that has a very, I think, especially with humbuckers, I think the PRS horse meat really, really works. Sometimes the mid-range on the humbucker guitars, they can be a little aggressive, in
Well, I think
the low mids.
That makes sense too, because I mean, to me, probably majority of PRS guitars are humbucker guitars.
Yeah, that's
Or
right.
at least the ones that I usually think of the most.
And then, wait, you have two
Yeah. So
delay pedals.
look at all these. There's a lot of reverbs and delays going on here.
Two delays and two reverbs.
Okay. So,
And look, it's perfectly matched. You have Boss on, and then you have Source Audio.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a miss. Okay, explain what's going on
I will
here.
explain myself. So obviously I'm going through the tuner into the Boss. So I have that little shove of the signal to the rest of it.
Yeah.
The majority of what I'm using is the Reverb RV6, the Boss.
The Boss.
That's a cool
Okay.
pedal.
And the Boss Space Echo.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Really? So
The
the
rest
other
is
ones
just
are
for
just there for
decoration.
decoration.
The rest is
He's
just-
sponsored by Source Audio. They're not plugged in.
The rest
but
is just
yeah.
crayons.
Here's $1,000 in their pedals.
So wait,
Yeah.
so how do you have your
Well,
Echo
mostly
set up? How
because
do you-
I do singer-songwriter stuff. It's just a real simple, clean, warm, chimey sound.
Okay.
And then if I want to go into a little more ambient and colorful on an ending or anything like that, then I can dial in some more crazier sounds with the Nemesis or the Ventress.
So all the basic meat and potato sounds, space echo reverb,
Yeah.
and then the RV6, and then when you wanna, and then you pile it on top of your.
Yeah, if I'm ending a song or I just want something big and ambient to start out with, then I can dial in something on the Nemesis or the Ventress or maybe even some horse meat.
I have a question. I have a question. Do you use the presets on your pedals, or do you actually usually have just one sound and you just keep it there all the time?
With the Space Echo, yeah, it's overkill because I only use like one and a single head delay. The other two, the Source Audio stuff, yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm always looking for something different.
Wait, so you're swapping between presets live?
Yeah, you can do
Really?
that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I very rarely use the preset button.
Really?
I'm not a big preset guy. You know, maybe I'm limiting myself. You know what it is? I get scared with the preset because the knobs don't match what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And so
you're
like,
one of those guys.
It's like, you know, I remember when there was a thing called the Cyber Twin. Do you remember that?
Oh, I
Fender
remember
had
the
an amp,
Cyber Twin very well.
and when you switch presets, the knobs would turn. I love
the
that.
motorized knobs.
I love that. Or even a digital, because, you know, like if I'm hearing something and I'm going, oh, something doesn't sound quite right, and I'll look down at my pedal board and all the knobs are just, it's like a, you know, like what's going on here?
I
And then you have
agree
to-
with the Boss stuff. That is the reason I like it, and probably why it's my regular kind of always on. But with the Source Audio, I kind of know it's on channel 1, 2, 3, or 4. You know, I've dialed in something. So.
And you dial, so you don't even touch it. It's just the way it is. See, I can never. My problem is the moment I do the gig, everything sounds wrong, and I have to tweak.
Yeah,
Maybe it's not your pedals.
The moment people are in the room,
Yeah.
things sound weird, and then I second guess myself.
Yeah, with a change of room, that is why I like the Boss.
Yeah.
And then the Source Audio, it's like whatever. It's just supposed to be big and ambient when I want it, so it matters less.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I'm scared of knobs.
You don't like knobs?
I don't want because the knobs can move.
Yes.
I like presets because I know it's exactly like I'll spend hours tweaking presets to like, you know, the millisecond or the point this of whatever. And it's exactly where I want it to be. And if a knob changes, then it's changed. And like, how many hours do I have to spend to get it back to where it was? So I like knowing that it's like locked in memory. And when I hit a button and it switches to that one, it goes to the exact one that I want. And it's always there. Anything that has the knobs, I'm just like, I've opened up my pedal board. I've transported it. How do I know the knobs are even in the right
place.
spot? They're probably not.
Yeah, no, I get. But have you ever done the thing where you're on a preset and you accidentally press the knob, but then the little tip of your foot touches the knob, and then now your preset sounds weird, and you're wondering why the preset sounds weird, and you have a panic attack?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't see that.
Yeah.
Then you gotta, you know, switch your.
I'm
As long as you don't accidentally save it, you can get back out of there.
You know what my problem is? I think I just need to take a breath before I touch my pedals. Because I think I just get too excited. Because me, like, you know, you're switching presets, and then before you know it, like I press the bank button by accident, and now I'm on bank 97. I'm like, oh god! And I forgot, like, what bank am I on? And then what preset am I? You're doing a tap dance. You know, the music director's looking at you, just like kind of like, what are we doing here, man?
That can happen for sure.
I just wanted to turn on my delay pedal. Jeez, you know. So I guess maybe that makes me. I like I'd like to idiot-proof the rig. The more maybe what I need is the rig where all the knobs and everything's just underneath, and it's just, you know, the switcher pedals. You know, keep everything the same. It's
Yeah.
just a switcher.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'll trust it. What's that little Boss thing on the top left there?
Metronome.
Oh, a little metronome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that like actually like stuck on top of
It
the
is.
power supply?
Really? And I guess you use it for you use the loop station. You use that for timing certain songs.
Yeah, some tunes have a very specific time that I
Is-
just can keep consistent.
Is the drum machine actually like hooked up to an audio source?
No, it's not
or,
a drum machine. It's just a
the metronome.
yeah. No.
Well, it's a Dr. Beat. It's
No.
you know.
No. If I
So,
want
so you're just getting like a visual off of it?
yeah, well, I don't even use it for that. If I want a specific tempo with the Space Echo, then I can tap tempo to the metronome and make sure it's dialed in.
You know that Boss metronome kind of looks like that Sedonic light meter that you're always using when you're
Oh yeah,
starting
yeah.
to
It does
shoot.
kind of. Yeah, it kind of does.
And then the good old loop station, classic pedal.
Yeah.
The RC5. Oh,
Boss really makes
nice.
the best loopers.
Which
man.
I don't
They're
really.
fantastic.
I don't use it for looping.
Oh, really?
No, I scratch out a tempo or a rhythm on the guitar and kind of use it as a organic
Oh,
rhythm
look at
drum
you.
thing. Yeah,
And I noticed that you have the coily cable too.
I do.
Oh, look at
See
that.
Yeah.
Coily cable.
I have a
looks
big.
cool.
I have a white coily cable too. Actually, that's
Oh, geez. You guys in the coily cable
Oh,
club.
Of course.
the CCC.
And you gotta have a white and you gotta have a black. It's gotta match the guitar.
Oh, look at that.
Wow!
Two coily
Yeah,
cables.
You
yeah.
don't mess around.
No.
Hey, look at that. Wait, is that like a brown coily cable? Is that just straight black?
It's black.
I think it's
Okay,
black.
that's,
Yeah.
maybe it's going off against the brown.
The sunburst is kind of thrown it a bit, but
Oh,
if you
well, that-
look at the floor, it's
Vintage
just black.
suitcase for the pedal board. I mean,
Oh,
come
that's where you
on.
put it in there.
So
And then wait,
stylish.
does the lamp come with you too? Is that a
Well,
Coleman?
I stuck it in there for the photo.
It's the prettiest shot kind of a rig on trial that we have. Look how pretty that thing is. That's a pretty cool rig. What amp are you going into?
I'm going to. Oh, here's one for you. Because I play clean so much,
Please clean out.
Oh,
and I
wait
want
for
a
this.
nice full range sound. So I'm going into an
Is there a
old
picture of a DI
vintage
box?
Trainer AMT 100.
A
acoustic.
Trainer AMT. What? Wow.
Oh, look at that! It's like
Yeah.
a PA
You're
wedge.
going. Wait, so you're going into an acoustic guitar amp.
I am.
That's
That's why he needs the coily cable.
evidently.
Yeah, maybe that helps. I don't know. Yeah,
Wait,
just
what are your settings
it's
on
so
the
bright.
acoustic amp?
the bass is fairly dialed down.
Yeah.
Mid range is scooped like you wouldn't believe.
Everything's
Wow.
turned down.
Highs all
It
the
sounds
way up.
good. It's
Wow.
I don't know if it's because it's an older amp. I don't know what it is, but
You know, there's
it's really nice and warm, full sounding.
That is, that's kind of going with the trend nowadays. I'm seeing more and more people going for that direct guitar sound. So it's like direct into the thing, and then you use the EQs, and then you use the thing. That's kind of what this is, really.
Yeah,
if
I don't
you
have to
break it
EQ
down.
it so much. I mean, with the humbuckers, yeah, I'm mostly a scoop to mid range.
I wanna
and
hear what
depending
this
on
rig sounds
volume,
like.
I bring the bass down a bit, but it's nice and full and warm.
Really? And then how do you wait? Just my brain's going. Yeah, where do you have the horse meat set?
I told you to
Let me
buckle
look at
up.
your horse meat settings. Wow, he just has a normal
Okay,
horse
so,
meat
so
set.
I
gain's
rarely,
cranked.
I
Gain's
rarely run. You can see it's cranked, right?
Yeah.
So I rarely run overdrive, and all it is for like a special effect. If I'm just
I
wanting,
can see
a-
the level's quite low, so gain's cranked. Level's
yeah,
quite low, so
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like a texture
it's
of
just a
like.
texture at the end of a tune, and I kick in to add ambience or anything like that. So, yeah.
Okay, who out there on YouTube right now watching the show? How many of you are running an acoustic guitar amp or running direct with your rig? How many of you are doing that?
Viewer poll. Let's see.
I kind of want to I'm going to do that. I'm going to go home. I'm going to do that.
I
got a
don't think
PA.
I'd run direct though. It's
Because
still
that's kind of
different.
similar. That's pretty much what you're doing. Like that Trainer amp is a relatively.
There's something
Hi-fi
warmer about
po-
it than I would find through a PA because I've done the PA thing too.
Oh yeah, so there's
Yeah.
there's a little magic in there too, eh?
Yeah.
Smooths
The
it out.
transistors in there.
Because I've tried it through other newer acoustic amps, and yeah, it's exactly what you would expect.
Very cool. Very cool. Maybe it's kind of like like Quilter has like a nice full range kind of sounding things too.
Oh, there you go.
I'm getting inspired here. I'm going to try this rig.
Yeah,
Very
I think,
cool.
I think you should go through an acoustic amp.
Wow.
from now
that's
on.
Hey, they're lightweight, easy to carry.
That's well, and then there's that.
powerful.
There's that.
Yeah, I
Very
had
cool.
I had
You plug your microphone in that thing too?
no, no. What did I had?
Oh, and
I had that for a while
Oh yeah.
through the Seymour Duncan Power Stage,
Oh, I like that. I have one. of
but
those.
for what I'm doing, it was actually thin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just too thin.
Yeah. That power stage, you have to use that. The EQ on that thing goes a long way.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
There you go.
That was not when you said amp,
Yeah.
There
that
we
was
go.
not what my brain was expecting.
Very different than the other boards we've seen. That's cool.
Absolutely.
A lot of ambience on there. You could get lost for
Cut it
days.
with his
and
knife.
Exactly.
Crazy.
That's cool.
Well, thank you for bringing that in, Mitch.
Thanks,
That's,
Mitch. That's
awesome.
awesome.
Well, if you have a rig, you could just go on to Instagram Tapestry Music Store, and you give us a little. You could just tag Tapestry. Was it you tag it? Is that how the internet works? Tag rigs
Yeah,
on
you
trial.
can tag
Hashtag
it.
rigs on trial. Hashtag big shiny tones.
Big shiny tones,
And
yeah.
give us a shout out. We want to see
We'll
what your
see
rigs.
it either way there.
We've seen so many different. It's like the kaleidoscope of rigs.
That's what's so cool about it. There's so many different types of rigs out there.
And the application of pedals, like what
Yeah.
one person uses their overdrive for is completely different than another person, even though they might be in the same family. Like a tube screamer. Everyone kind of has a different application. It's really neat to see. And speaking of tube screamer,
Oh, before we get to that though,
oh.
I was just saying on the pedal boards there, I had the opportunity on the weekend to walk through Ariel Posen's pedal board.
that's
He was
that
in
on,
town for
did
the
you
show.
post that on the thing?
Yeah, so there's a video we did a piece for our Rig It and Gig It series. It's like rig rundown type stuff that we've been doing, and so we got to see Ariel's touring board, and man, he's such a cool player.
Great guy.
Such a
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a cool tone with his like baritone tunings, and he's got like really some ambient sounds, kind of like what Mitch's board would have, but then all these like gnarly fuzz tones and stuff too. So we'll put a link to that one too. Check it out. That was very cool. You can see the full walkthrough with
Shout out
Ariel.
to his crew, people. They
Yeah,
were
his
super
crew was
nice.
awesome. It was really awesome that they let us come down. It was so nice of them.
Fox
they were-
Cabaret was cool.
Wow.
everybody was great there.
How loud was it? Was it loud? Does he use big amps? What does he use?
He had a 40-watt 2-rock, so 40-watt
yeah?
2-rock head with a really compact 112, and they're trying to keep a pretty reasonable stage volume. So it wasn't like it's big and full on stage, partly because he's got the low tunings, but it's not like crazy loud. Like I was able to stand here, and the amp would be like where that
Okay.
cello is, and
well, I guess there's a good
was
powerful
cool.
master volume on that thing. Eh?
but it sounded really full, and he's just doing trio stuff too, so it's like just guitar, bass, drums, and it sounded great, full but balanced, and really cool. Definitely worth checking that one out.
Check out that video.
Yeah,
That's
it
cool.
was awesome. So yes, close things off. Tube Screamer of the day.
Screamer Day. We highlight a different Tube Screamer every episode. Hopefully, we have more episodes than there are Tube Screamer clones in the world.
We'll see. The race is on. So this week I threw in the Way Huge Green Rhino.
Oh, that's a great pedal. I love that pedal.
There have been many variations on it.
Yes,
I
there
think.
has been,
I'm
yeah.
not aware of the different variations, but that's a classic boutique interpretation of the TS style pedal.
Oh, those are really great sounding. The old ones back when it was independent. Now they're Way Huge is now Dunlop. Right?
Yep.
It's been Dunlop for a long time actually. Now that's the MK5. Look at that.
Yeah.
You can.
I think that's the kind of small one too.
Yeah, yeah. But
The
it's
old
cool.
ones are
It
really
still
big.
has the same kind of like form factory look, which is what I like about them.
I like
You know,
that anodized kind of like
it's so
It's like
cool.
almost like green apple or something. It's really
It's
cool.
beautiful and it's big, and I like that. And I like.
It's got some big knobs on there too.
The aesthetic of Way Huge too is just so awesome. The curve, so you could, for all the people that don't like the mid range, you can kind of curve up the EQ a little bit, and it is really fascinating, beautiful sounding pedal. I really enjoy that one. So that is a great pick.
There we are.
The Way
Tube
Huge
Screamer of the
Green
day.
Rhino. Oh,
That wraps up this episode of Big Shiny Tones.
another classic.
Classic. That was
Classic
a lot
for
of
the
fun.
library.
We're all over the map on that one. That was great.
All right. Well, I guess that being said, we're gonna see you all soon. Take care.
See you next week. Ciao. We spent like 45 minutes talking about cables.
We went all in on the cables.